Hi, and welcome to another episode of I have never broken a fucking controller, but I swear to God, I am this close to wrecking my Tron fucking light up controller.
In
In
5D.
5D.
I don't know why. On a whim, I was like, you know what? I really like fucking Star Wars. It's my jam. I hear this is a really good story, and they had a summer sale and all that fun stuff. So I thought, hey, let me pick up Jedi Fallen Order. But then I was like, I don't want to give those sons of bitches that much money. So instead, I temporarily picked up an Origin account. And I started playing Jedi Fallen Order.
You would have been better off just buying it for 30. It's like literally 2 months of Origin.
Yeah, but once I'm done playing with it, I ain't going back.
I guess that's fair.
I just cancel.
Right now, it's sounding like if he even bothers to finish it.
Yeah. So okay, look, I wanted to try it, and I will, honest to God, say that I don't usually use a controller on a PC.
This is a console game, though.
It's just not my thing. But the robot at the beginning said, "Hey, you should probably use a controller." And against my better judgment, I went,
All right.
this game's kind of hard, so probably. Anyways, so I go for the controller, and I just cannot understand this fucking game. So I'm enjoying it, but it hurts so much in the sense where, like, if you miss one parry, that could be the end of the fucking fight. And it isn't even dodge everything. No, it's the type of dodge that you're going to want to do. And then you can kind of do a parry and then another move. But what I've noticed, and it's not just me because I looked around, I just wanted to see if maybe something was wrong, but there's a slight delay from when you put the fucking command in to when your character does it. And that is enough to, at least in the beginning, entirely infuriate me. Because I'm like, I pressed the button! I pressed the fucking button!
Yeah, I don't think I can handle this.
So, what you're describing is why I don't play fighting games, because there's a delay. And there's a timing delay into it, and you're supposed to take that in consideration when you're doing your combo in fighting games. And I understand that now. And it's a little bit better than it was when I was younger, because I used to literally crush controllers that I would get so angry at fucking fighting games. This one, I've played the Jedi Fallen Order all the way through. I've beat it. I think it is a really good game. It is really good for its storyline. Where I think they did a lot right is in the world exploration and the like normal combat.
That's my
and, like,
favorite
the normal
part.
things. Like the normal combat as well, like fighting the like stormtroopers or whatever, and like even like the death troopers and stuff. They're okay. They can be ridiculously like difficult at time because yes, if you mess up, it is very punishing. It is very, very punishing, and it's kind of ridiculous how punishing it is. Where I feel that they really fucked up on though is the boss fights, specifically towards the end. I was so infuriated by the final boss. It was ridiculous. It was definitely one that after I beat it, like, sure, I felt accomplished, but it really wasn't a sense of accomplishment anymore. It was like, holy fucking shit, I'm glad I'm done with this. Like, it wasn't even a fun accomplishment. Which is sad because I really did like the Star Wars aesthetic on this kind of Souls-like game. Because I wouldn't even say it's really Souls-like. It's Souls-like in the fact that they purposely made it more punishing.
Well,
So
That's
more like-
exactly how I felt about Darksiders 3. It wasn't that it was this well-balanced, it's just this timing and this flow, but once you can get it down, you can play it on a fucking DDR, Matt. This timing is so sweet and perfect. This just felt like, oh no, we just made it really fucking hard. Just because fuck you. Like, it's punishing.
So I feel that follows the Dark Souls 2 train. Dark Souls 2 is known for being ridiculously hard because they made it harder for harder's sake, and they changed the timing of it to where it was a little bit different than the original Dark Souls. And a lot of Dark Souls fans didn't like that. That being said, Dark Souls 2 is still a great Dark Souls game. It's just the bottom of the leaderboard as far as Dark Souls games go, right?
yeah.
And that being said, with this, it's a Star Wars game that is just a basic Star Wars game, even with its frustration, which makes it better than all the other EA Star Wars games by fucking
So
Microtransactions.
I will say that story-wise, the cinematics are gorgeous in this. I've only done. I'm on the second planet, so obviously I can't do a full review, but I enjoyed the beginning, and as I was learning all the difficulty I was having, I was thinking, I just don't know the control scheme. And then next it was, oh no, it's just I haven't console gamed seriously like this in a while. I'm just rusty. Then I spent 20 minutes trying to kill. It wasn't even a boss. It wasn't even a fucking sub boss. It's like one of those extra powerful creatures that just roams around in the fucking wilderness. And Cops, maybe you remember, it's on the first planet where you go, and he's got like a secret next to it. He's got 3 eyes, and you can drop it on from the top. That motherfucker. So I beat him once, about 15-20 minutes in, and then Origin fucking crashed and took the game with it before I could get back to a meditation point. By the way, that is straight out of fucking Souls. You can't save unless you go to a meditation point.
Every time you do, it brings back the enemies.
And if you get killed, they take all of the XP and health that you've gained since your last meditation, and you have to go back and punch the dude that killed you to get all that shit back. Otherwise, all that grinding you did up to the point. So it's difficult. But anyways, the game crashed, and I had to do that fight again. It took me another 20 minutes. I'm almost an hour into this fucking game, and it's just one bad guy. And I keep thinking, I just need to keep leveling, because there's no way this can be that hard forever.
That specific enemy, he is actually supposed to be taken on later. I beat him when I first showed up to that world, because I am just going to do the thing of throwing my head against the brick wall until the brick wall breaks, because that's just how I play Dark Souls games. So you're severely under level with that specific enemy. He's very much a hidden enemy to be taken out at a later time when you're more powerful. You can do it now. It's not impossible.
I murdered him.
I did too. I murdered him too. And it took me some time, and it took me getting used to their control system and their timing block for their kind of Souls-like game to be able to do it.
Yeah.
That being said, because I do play Souls-like, I am a little bit more acquainted to having to adjust to the other timings, because I tell you what, man, any game that's like a Souls-like in any way, they never have everything perfect. They never have the timing down. They never have this down. They never have the like dodge out of the way timing down. The invulnerability when you're doing the dodge. There's always some slight skew that is never the same, and it's always you have to get used to it in all these kinds of games.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. The controller that I have is actually one of the bumpers. It still works, but it doesn't give you any feedback. So in a game like this, you need that fucking feedback.
Yeah,
so
I'd also say there's some memorable moments that you're gonna come up, and it's gonna be worth doing what you're doing, especially like early game. I don't know if I could truly recommend you beating it, just because of how terrible some of the boss fights are. Like they progressively get more frustrating as boss fights go on, which is stupid. And I don't think it was completely intentional. It's supposed to be you're at this point where you're super powerful and they're super powerful, and so therefore you're having this like super powered fight. But because of how unpunishing everything is, the final boss fight itself is like you make one mistake and like you're just toast. Because she'll just combo you the whole way.
This sounds like a game that I'm gonna promptly abandon.
Probably. There are some moments that I recommend you get to. The first one is like after the first little set of worlds, and that's the first big pivotal turning point where I was really having fun, like in this world and completely immersed in the storyline.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend at least getting towards there. Like.
So I like the world exploration. I like the puzzles. So I'm not just in hate with the game, but I will say it's been a while since the game infuriated me like this, and not because of like other players or any of that shit, but just it's kind of sparked that I'm gonna try and beat you because fuck you. That's why. Versus I'm enjoying this experience, and some folks relish in that, and I usually don't. So I just want to know the fucking story, and all that shit. But yeah, I was thinking of Bonsai when I was playing this, and I'm like, I don't think he would be into this. Although you played Bloodborne, right?
He
I
didn't
played
like
Bloodborne for like 2 or 3 hours and said this is not worth the life force that's going into this game.
Fair enough.
What I would say to you, Ark, is get as far as you possibly can handle in Jedi, and then go play the actual Dark Souls remake. Because you'll
No.
probably have
No.
because you'll probably have a better time in the Dark Souls remake than this one.
I don't give a shit about any of the lore on the Dark Souls, so there's no draw for me. And hard for the sake of hard. Just
No, but
I'm
it's-
just
it's-
not in.
But that's not what the original Dark Souls was. That's what the second one was.
Mm.
The original Dark Souls, though, was much more about the exploration and storytelling through finding items and doing stuff and uncovering it and the lore.
Okay, I can understand that. I'm just
Because you like the exploration, I think you would like the first Dark Souls.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna play it. Honestly, I just
That's fair.
slitting my wrist isn't something I look forward to.
But that's not what this one is. I'm just saying that if you can get through a good chunk of this one, even if you don't beat it, you'll probably still have a way easier time with original Dark Souls like remaster and enjoy
Yeah.
it. Because it's not as infuriating.
They need to
It's
bring
nowhere
back
near the
cheats
infuriating.
so I can get to the story. But
Yeah, I don't
anyways.
think that's gonna happen.
Oh, I know. The whole point. I'm sure it's a badge of honor to a bunch of folks. So other than that, I'm gonna give it a preliminary rating. Honestly, I don't hate the game. I'd probably give it a 7 right now. 7 broken fucking controllers lying there crumpled like my hopes and dreams out of 10. No, this game makes me mad. It's funny. My wife hasn't watched me play video games with this kind of fervor in a while because I'm usually not on the main consoles upstairs. But anyways, yeah. Moving on. There is another thing I did want to talk about because I thought the setup was hilarious. There's a new show on Netflix. It's actually I think it's a British show called Lovesick, and it's kind of interesting. It's a romantic sitcom with a bunch of elements. Like the interesting bit is that the setup is it starts with the main character and he's at a doctor's office, and either the nurse or the female doctor there, she's sarcastic and hilarious, basically telling him that I think it's either chlamydia or some sort of other STI. And basically she's like, you're going to have to contact everyone you've had sex with and, let them know.
I've seen this whole show.
Lovesick?
Yes.
Nice.
I watched this forever ago.
Okay.
It started to sound familiar and I Googled it. And yeah, this show's great. It's super fun.
Okay. Wow. It came out a while ago, or did it just come out on Netflix? Is this one of those that they kind of take and recycle?
Maybe. I just know I've seen this.
Okay. So I bet you what they did is they got the publishing rights for the British
It's a 2014 British show.
show. Yeah. So they
We used to have BBC.
Okay.
So I bet you I watched it on BBC.
Well, the setup's hilarious. So he's contacting all his exes, and like every episode deals with a new ex, and it jumps back and forth between his past and his present. What I find interesting for this show is that the comedy it's actually pretty good. It's got some really good moments. They just hit you. His best friend's hilarious. He's stereotypical womanizer, but he's got some really good lines, and so far the main actor is acting pathetic in one of the best portrayals of pathetic that I've ever seen. Right? It's charming. It's witty. I enjoy it. What did you think, Bonsai, when you saw it?
It's been a hard minute since I've seen it, so I don't know that I can name anything specific, but we watched everything there was at the time, at least, so let that live on for itself. That's all. Again, it's not fresh on my memory enough to like really comment. I just looked at the picture and went, "Oh fuck, I watched the show."
All right, well, you give it a rating then, because apparently they're as arbitrary anyways.
It's a number of I don't remember out of 5.
You don't remember out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
a number of I don't remember,
Okay, so let's
implying that
see.
there's at least multiple.
I
Or
so
singular.
far, I haven't finished yet, but so far, I would say I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 potentially chlamydia-ridden X's.
Yeah, that's the right number.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. No, not 100% yet, but yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Does he ever figure out which X gave it to him?
I'm not that far in yet.
I do not remember.
Watch it for yourself. I don't think
It
this
was.
is-
I probably watched this when it came out in 2014, so it's been a minute.
Only 6 years.
Oh, my bad.
only
I can't-
6 years.
Before we started this podcast, I was
Only about as far as I've been into this podcast.
trying to remember. We actually probably reviewed it on this podcast, to be honest.
Oh,
I was trying to remember what movie I watched on Friday before we started, and you always shocked I can't remember a British television show from 6 years ago.
I mean, I just figured your long-term memory would be better than your short-term.
Oh God, no.
yeah. I can't remember the name of things, anyways. So
Or
I can't.
people.
Or people. Yeah, I'm terrible. Also pronouncing them, and just apparently talking is not my thing.
Yeah, it's great that you run a podcast.
It's my favorite part. Yeah, it really brings me out of my shell. All right. So what have you guys been up to on these lonely nights?
Mostly a lot of Tarkov.
Surprise, surprise.
Is it?
Now, I just speaking on all your Dark Soulsy kind of stuff. I started playing Hollow Knight,
Okay.
which is mostly a Metroidvania, but definitely has taken some notes from Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Mostly with the rest points. You can only save your progress at these little park benches, and they're very few and far between in a lot of dungeons. Even like a lot of games are kind enough to put a save right outside of a boss, and Hollow Knight likes to put a save like 10 to 15 minutes worth of gameplay away from a boss until you finally just go, fuck it. I'm just not going to fight anything. I'm just going to move around everyone because at this point, I know where the fuck they're coming from. And then you just don't. Then it's only like 5 minutes to get back to the boss. You're slamming your
That's
head.
like
against
Dead
the wall.
Cells.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Though Dead Cells, I still actually put the time in on most. Like, I'm not one of those guys who needs to speedrun it. I'll have 10,000 hours on Dead Cells before I beat Dead Cells. I'm fine with that. That's all good by me. Hollow Knight, I know I say this a lot. I'm gonna sound like I don't enjoy it, but really, I am liking the game. There's really only 2 things I don't like. I don't like the really far bits between finding benches, and what sucks is when you make it to a fucking new area, you don't even have a map, so you don't even know like you're looking for either a bench or that motherfucker with the map. And sometimes it's just like, I have shit I have to do, and I really want to turn this off, but I don't know where I am or how to get back from where I was going. So I don't like that. And then the other thing I don't like, I'm actually fine with the bosses and the regular fights. It's all, pattern recognition, and pretty easy pattern recognition, considering there's not like, you don't have to dodge and parry. You can do it just jumping
Okay.
and moving. You can do it.
See, I prefer that.
What I don't like is the gotcha tactics. This game is so big on like, oh, you did a thing. But this thing popped out the wall and gotcha, or fell off the roof and gotcha, or, oh, there was a secret extra stage to this fight. Like, there's just a lot of cheap ways to knock a health orb or 2 off of you. And then you'll obviously immediately be followed up by something where, like, you can't just heal or spend your, you don't have the time to drop a heal into you.
So-
I don't. Gotcha tactics are fine in horror stuff, and they're fine once in a while. But fucking Hollow Knight, it seems, on every map has at least 2 gotcha elements that are specialized to that section of map. I hate it. Like, I really, like, the only times I've almost crushed my controller or hucked my Switch. It hasn't been dying over and over on the bosses. It hasn't even really been like I'm disappointed when I have to sink 15 more minutes in to get back to where the fuck I just was. But the parts that really drive me up a wall are while you're just like standing there, or you take half a second to pop your map open. It's like, something fell off the roof and got you. The worst one was like that I just did. The worst one so far. I have not beaten the game. The worst one so far was this boss you're fighting, and it's one of the ones where it's like there's no real shortcut. You can see on the map. You've really got to go down and around and then back up. Like you got to make like a backward C to get from the nearest save spot over to this boss. It's a solid 5 minutes, even if you are dodging everything, to get back to this fucking spot. And I'm fighting this boss. I'm figuring out the pattern. It's like a 3-stage thing, and he evolves his attack. So you're going to die a couple times while you try and figure it out. And you beat him. He does the traditional 3-stage thing. You figure it out. He does this big, extravagant explosion, and then the 4 falls away. And then he immediately kicks into this move where he teleports above you and drops down, and teleports above you and drops down, and teleports above you and drops down in like fairly quick succession. And then you're dead, and you have to restart the fight from the first round. Like the floor rebuilds and everything. And I was seriously just like I was even just sitting there trying to heal, and the floor fell. Okay, fine. Try and heal again, and he slams down on you from the roof. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the devs knew what they were doing. They're like, we're gonna kill him with this one. And they're gonna get mad. Like, you fucking knew what you were doing. And if it was 1 time, 2 times in the game, it wouldn't be that bad. But the fact that there are so many, or like that same map, there's just these enemies where there's this one part, you get to this little shrine that you can hit and you can refill some of your energy. So the first time you're there, you have no way of knowing this will happen. You walk up, you smash the thing, you get your energy, you start filling yourself up on some life, and this blob pops out of the ground and runs at you hard. And it's like, okay, I was clearly here to smash this so I could get some life because I was low on life. And then you throw it. It's time, dude. I've even gone back to that spot. Just stand there, nothing. Once you break the thing to get you some energy is when it spawns out of the ground and runs at you. I don't like gacha tactics. I realize a lot of people are like, it's fun, or it's this. And if you love them, cool, that's great. I'm not judging. For me, I hate the, like, what's on your shirt? Gotcha. I hate that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand it. It drives me up a wall, and Hollow Knight uses so many gotcha bits. Hate it.
I don't know. It depends on, like, the game. Like I really don't like jump scares or any, like gotcha moments, like, in horror. You're saying it's in horror. I feel it's oversaturated there with that.
Oh, it's definitely oversaturated, but I can at least, because like the movies are doing it too, I can at least tolerate it.
Right,
fits.
but that doesn't make a good horror movie, right?
No, it doesn't.
Not to get too far off track, but like there is a game that I really enjoyed the gotcha tactic in it, and it was called Spooky's House of Jump Scares. And the reason I liked it was because
it was in the name.
Well, no, it's a 1,000 rooms. You're supposed to get through 1,000 rooms to get to the end, and it starts off with the whole like little cardboard cutout that pops out at you, right? Kind of thing. And as you progress, you start to learn that there's more and more to this. It's not just 1,000 rooms; it's a whole bunch of other things with it as well. But you'll be like randomly going, and then all of a sudden, one of those little cardboard cutouts will pop out, and it will scare you as like this little tiny, like little chibi, like fucking like octopus or whatever, right?
Yeah, little like cartoonish ghost.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, son of a bitch, you got me. Right,
And see, and like, and that doesn't penalize you game wise. It just kind of scares you. It's fun. It fits with the theme of the game. With this,
right.
It's clearly there just to add rage.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Is like it depends on how it's done. Like that was a very well portrayed way of doing the gotcha tactic. What you're describing just doesn't sound like it's very fun at all. I don't like that in a lot of other games, right?
Yeah.
It's like.
But so having said that, I do like the regular gameplay. I like the level up pin system. I like that you can constantly heal yourself, and that the challenge more becomes, do you have the time to do it? Even without the gotcha tactic, like in the middle of a boss fight, there will be a point where you can heal, and there's a point where you should not heal, and there's some points where you can risk a heal if you're in the like. I like that. That's great. I love the pin system for leveling up and like buying pins. I love the Metroidvania back and forth aspect. I've been really heavy on those kind of games lately. Love the art style. The story's really fun. I do, and it's only like $15 usually, which is like the right place, and it's good and long. I don't think I'm even halfway done yet, and I've been playing on it for a few hours now. So
I've had it for a while. I just haven't installed it.
no, I'd say at least give it a try, especially if you're feeling like a Metroidvania kind of thing. Because like I'm coming off the back of Dead Cells and Axiom Verge, which were both really good.
Right.
Axiom Verge is really good, but Hollow Knight's good. It's just got these couple of little points where I'm like, I have a buddy at work who I was telling I bought Hollow Knight, and he's like, dude, I could not get into it. No, I get why he couldn't get into it. I know exactly what happened. Is he got hit with one too many of those like stalactite fell. Like, I think he got hit with one too many of those and was like, "No, fuck this. This is not good for my stress level long term." You know.
I don't even like those mechanics in Mario where it's like, oh
yeah, no.
yeah.
Again, once in a while on a level, you're like, okay, you just wanted me to learn to slow down and pay attention. But when it's fucking constant, I don't. Yeah. So I'll go right now. Not completing Hollow Knight. I'll say 3.5 pins out of 5.
Okay.
Just it's good. It's fun. I think it's worth it if you don't like Metroidvania. This is not going to win you over. This is not going to be the game that wins you into playing these types.
Are
of games.
you going to finish it?
Yes. Well, so far I'm going to finish it. We'll see if I get to another room where I'm just like, this is too insufferable. But yes, as of right now, I've completed 5 areas of the map. I don't know how many there are, but I think I've completed 5. So, you know, as of that far, I'm still in. It's the healthy fun kind of frustrating for now. We will see.
Yeah.
I gave up on Darksiders 3, y'all. I might pop it back in eventually, but for right now, nope.
What finally did it?
It's honestly, it's not even a boss. It's just this area where the ads are too thick for me to get through comfortably.
Oh, I feel like
died in the same zone like 8 times within 15 minutes of each other, just trying to like make my way through random ads. And I was like, you know what? Life's too short.
I don't usually do this, but if Jedi Fallen Order really keeps kicking my ass, I'm gonna turn down the difficulty level.
Do it.
Yeah, some games are, and you know that I think was probably the bigger killer for Darksiders 3. It wasn't even the story wasn't enough to carry you through. It wasn't good.
When it's easier to read the plot line on Wikipedia than play the fucking game, like not even easier but more enjoyable, that's usually where I'm drawing the line. So,
well, and I mean, Darksiders 3 established that they were just going to be wrong out things right out of the gate by saying that the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are war, death, strife, and fury.
I'm pretty sure that's not.
Those ain't them.
Nope.
I know there's some interpretation.
Those are them 4 horsemen of apocalypse.
I've seen a few different interpretations on what the lineup is, and yes, it is usually war, death, and 2 others. But I'll tell you this right now: I've never heard fury ever, not even once.
No, I thought it was plague and famine.
Plague and famine are the traditional. I've seen some other ones used.
Like
what?
What?
What was it?
It's shit.
I'd have to. It's one of those ones where when I read Conquest has been one of them.
Wouldn't war just be conquest?
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
I can't remember what did it, but there's been enough of them that do it slightly different. Where I've had to Wikipedia a few times, like what were the 4 horsemen again? Am I wrong here? And no, I was not, because I've always seen plague and famine like you have. Here, let's see. 4 horsemen.
We don't.
I just want to see what Wikipedia lists them as.
I thought one of them was pestilence.
Pestilence and okay. So pestilence versus famine is another one I've heard. They're largely the same thing with a slightly different carryout. Okay. The white horse is the Antichrist, or war, or infectious disease. The red horse is empire division. The black horse as imperial oppression.
What?
Yeah, so even Wikipedia is like, nope, we're not really using those.
So dictionary.com is the 4 riders of the on white, red, black, and pale horses. I don't know
Yes.
what the difference is between pale and white, but okay.
Great.
Symbolizing pestilence, war, famine, and death,
Okay.
as per Revelations 6:2-8.
See, Wikipedia, I did just find the section Death, Famine, War, and Conquest.
Interesting.
So that's Wikipedia has it listed as that. So there is some division, but I'll tell you right now, Fury is not one of them.
Yeah, I was about to say, none of those were Fury.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Why wouldn't they just use one of the other ones?
Well, and what's funny is like they allude that Strife is like doing his own thing, and I was like, can we play his game? It sounds way more interesting than this shit.
Darksiders 2 was really good though.
2 was good. 1 was really good, and
Yeah, 1
actually,
was good.
War and Death were kind of interesting characters. Fury's just a rage dick. Like, I mean, like, and everybody's just like, you're the least likable, and she keeps going like, I know. Okay, cool, thanks.
I'm just mad and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, kinda. And like, I get that, like, she's Fury, she's supposed to be, but I don't know, it just doesn't help anything. I found the whole game very unlikable.
Okay, well,
Can we put that on the box? The whole game is very unlikable.
that's funny.
We got in the chat, Fury, aka Wrath, is usually an angel or archangel. I'd agree with that. Or a sin. It's a 7 deadly sin. What's funny, your Fury is hunting down the 7 deadly sins. Maybe at the end of the game, there'll be this twist where she's like demoted from 4 horsemen to 7 deadly sin. I don't know, man. It's bad. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't
The
think that'll
gameplay's
happen.
not fun.
Because 3 Horsemen is too close to like the 3 Amigos, and
Dude, and honestly, they didn't even lean into like the designs for the 4 horsemen or for the 7 deadly sins. Like I ran into not greed, jealousy or whatever it is. Fuck. Is that what it's called? That's not what it's called.
no.
Think Full
Envy?
Metal Alchemist. Envy. Thank you.
Envy.
So you run into Envy pretty early, and Envy looks like one of the Skeksis, but also has like a bunch of stuff she's collected.
What are Skeksis?
Dark Crystal?
Oh, okay. I see.
The enemies from Dark Crystal? Yeah, she just looks like a hoarder Skeksis. And then after that, I fought Wrath, who just had like armor. And then Gluttony was kind of fat. That, like, it's not good. It's not a good game. Don't play it.
Okay. Well, I won't.
I'm saying, for anybody who's tuning in right now, Hollow Knight's up on the screen, and we actually finished talking about Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a good game. Play it. Darksiders 3 is not a good game. Don't play it.
Don't play it. I won't. I wasn't planning on to. Well, actually, I was until you told me it sucked. I really like the Dark Side.
Fallen liked it, but Fallen's very edgy.
I'll say this. Obviously,
So you might like it, Eduardo.
If it just sounds interesting to you, obviously give it a try and give it your own opinion. I'm just if I'm the kind of reviewer here, like I usually agree with that guy, this is a pass from my peeps.
It depends, right? Maybe Fallen Order will show me the way or whatever. I doubt it, but I'm gonna focus on hating that one first before I go to hating another game.
Yeah, there you go. That's fair.
But so another thing I was interested in, which I haven't had a chance to catch, I saw the movie, but Klops, you were actually checking out the new Watchmen show, right?
I was. It made its way to Hulu, and that's why I've been watching it. I was like,
Watching The
okay.
Watchmen?
I was watching The Watchmen on Hulu. I was like, why not? Sure.
Well, doesn't that just answer the question? Who watches The Watchmen? Klops.
Klops does? Yeah,
Klops watches The Watch. No, it's all solved, guys. We're good here.
Yeah.
It's a me, Klops.
Honestly, like, I have trouble figuring out where in the timeline it is. Like, it's like they did this. It's kind of neat because, like, it's kind of like, is it related to the movie? Kind of. Is it its own thing?
Isn't it
Kind
after
of.
the movie?
It's after the
Theoretically?
comic. I'd say it's after the comic.
The comic. Okay.
Yeah, theoretically.
It has some stuff that it pulls more from the comic than it does from the movie. for sure.
Yeah. Well, I
Like
mean,
it's definitely not a straight sequel to the movie.
what was the difference between the movie and the comic though, besides not having the anthology things, like the little breaks with like the dude on the island that was going insane and stuff?
Literally the entire ending.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't remember. It's been a
So
long time since I read the ending.
in the movie, it was all about just making Dr. Manhattan the villain or blowing him. It was like a bomb. In the comic, it's a giant space octopus that he builds from scratch, and that's the big thing that the world needs to come together against to kill, was a giant space octopus. That was not in the movie.
Aliens or something.
Yeah, but he made them.
Yeah.
He created a giant space octopus that the world had to band together to kill. And that's why in the show it was raining squids. That's a leftover of the evil space octopus that he built.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, in the movie, it's he becomes the villain because the other hero frames him.
Yeah, well, and there is a plot where he has to frame Dr. Manhattan and make him go away, because otherwise Dr. Manhattan would just kill
Yeah.
but in the movie, I think it's like a bomb, or Manhattan's just the villain or something like that. It's not a space octopus.
Well, what it is that he's working on a new energy source to solve America's energy crisis. And the other hero, I don't remember his name, he's like the smartest dude in the planet ever. He fucking turns it into a bomb.
There you go. Yeah, so it's
bomb.
slightly, so it's the same idea in both, but it's just a different. It's not a space octopus in the movie, and so the show follows the space octopus.
Okay. In the comic, was Rorschach also racist?
I believe there were strong undertones of him being racist. I've never read the comic. I more read synopses. I actually really hate the art in the comic, and it's kind of driven me to never read it. And I realize that's blaspheme in the comic circles, but I hated it.
That's fair. I don't remember that even, because I watched the comic because I had a DVD that had all the comic on it.
Oh, that's cool.
They do like those motion comic things, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but it's been a long time. I might have it on DVD somewhere. I might dig it out and start reading it. But I thought that was interesting that, like, so this one deals a lot more with racial tensions.
Yeah,
which was a very interesting thing to go for a show, especially like in this time, right? You know, and maybe they did that on purpose, you know, because it's definitely more of a reflection of these times and the politics that are happening now, as opposed to the politics that were happening when the comic book of the Watchmen were around, right? Or where it kind of takes place, because it's more of a timepiece period for like the 50s is really what it is. That's set in like the 90s. I'm really enjoying it. I think it has some really interesting plot twists and things. I think that this kind of weird, or not weird, but this kind of race war undertones, because that's really what it is between most of the people that are mixing with people of color or part of the police force, which the police force now can wear masks because there was a whole incident that happened where a lot of cops were killed or something like that.
Yeah.
And this kind of Ku Klux Klan fill-in that wear Rorschach masks is very interesting, because it leads to a lot of cat and mouse and a lot of issues from both sides. Because like the police, because they're like just this unchecked power or almost unchecked power, they're still doing things that are really fucked up. Like they end up rounding up a whole bunch of lower class white people because they supposedly are affiliate, and they don't know who's affiliate or not, or if they're hiding any of them or not, or any information of it. They just round them all up, whole fucking thing. And like they do it by force. They don't even do it by like, hey, come in. No, it's they go down there with paddy wagons and beat the shit out of everybody and throw them into paddy wagons and drive off with them, and then they interrogate them all. So I mean, it's leading to not so much of a black and white as like you would portray usually. It's very much this murky gray on all sides.
Okay. It follows the one main character though, right? But so what's the story?
It doesn't just follow one main character. There is one that is taking predominance. She's a ex-police cop. I can't remember her name. It's like Shadow or something like that. It's she was a cop that was during the whole time where there was like this attack on police, survived, and then she became an ex-cop but she also became more of a superhero vigilante that was working with the police force. She's basically went into hiding as far as like working with the police force and everything else. So she's a baker as her alias,
Okay.
but she's actually just fighting crime, or she's fighting against basically this. I think they're the 61st Cavalry Unit or something like that. There's some
Something
stupid,
like that, yeah.
some stupid rednecky thing, right? You know, that's like her sole purpose is like she is just anti racism, which is rad. It's really cool. She's African American, female lead that is fighting against racism, and I'm all for that. I don't know. So far, it's pretty intriguing. I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm like on episode 5 or something like that. I'm not
Okay,
sure
so
how many
about
you're gonna
halfway.
see. Yeah, about halfway. So far, it's
I'm
been
going to
really
brace
good.
you right now. The worst
Okay.
part about the show is that you're not going to get another season of it.
Oh yeah, I figured. I figured that's why it's on Hulu.
Well,
It's an HBO
it
show.
could, but if it comes back, it's not going to have the same writer director. He's already said he's out. He's done. He did everything he wanted to do, which is weird because, like, I guess it has an ending, but there's also so much more we could do with all of this. It's weird.
Oh. I want to see more about Red.
Which one was Red?
Oh, he's the only cop I really like. He's the like communist fucking Russian dude. He's
Yes,
literally just wearing a red Adidas tracksuit with a red ski mask.
Oh, I don't remember him. I liked the mirror face, dude.
Oh yeah, he's really cool too because
He's
his like
great.
ability of like reading.
Yeah. He's just
Like-
real good at figuring folks out.
Yeah, yeah. He's one of my favorites. I definitely like him, but I also like Red just because I can't wait to see more of what he
Oh,
does.
yeah. That dude was dope.
You can't do this to us, you fascist. He's like, I'm communist, and like fucking punches the dude.
Of course, that's your favorite.
Of course.
course.
Why not? Why wouldn't
It's a
that be
good
my
line.
favorite?
To go along with your red glowy microphone there.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm sad. Once I get an actual mixer, I won't be able to use this mic anymore because it's only USB.
I'm sure. Don't they have converters? USB to.
Not for this one.
Fair enough.
I was looking around for one so I can keep using it.
Just so you know, Klops, he's got a lot of fan art out there with that exact quote.
Oh, I believe it.
A lot.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
All right. So
Um,
give it a rating.
I'd probably give this one a solid 3.5 out of 5. I'm communist, not fascist so far. It's very what they've I want to see more of it to give it an actual proper rating because I want to see how they're going to tie everything up. Because like I said, it's kind of like this weird timeline thing where I was like, is this including the movie? Is it not including the movie? Is it doing its own thing? Like what is happening here? So I'm still kind of figuring out everything that's happening with it.
Yeah, after the comics, I think is a good guidance for that.
Yeah, definitely explains a lot of the other squids. I was like, okay, I guess there's squids now. I don't question anything in shows half the time anymore. I just try to watch them and try to figure out what it is they're trying to tie in, and like until then, I'm just like, okay, I guess we're going this route. I guess we're going this way. Hard left. All right, let's go.
You're like me, man. I'm just like, well, that's the ride we're going on. My wife is always the one who's like, why does this happen? And there's been several times where like that's the joke where she'll question a thing and I'm like, it's just the show. And then the show will go, why didn't you question this thing? And I'm just like, oh shit. I guess I should question things, but I don't.
I find that if I sit there and I question everything in shows and movies, I start peeling away the layers too much.
I
Yep.
find that
And I
as
start
well.
seeing all the predictability in it, and then I'm like, this guy did it, he's gonna fucking do this, and then and then like it just starts following these story arcs, right? You know what I mean? And like I'm like, I can't watch this now because I just figured everything out and I'm not gonna watch it. I don't need to watch it. I just figured everything out. Why would I watch it?
It's better when you're just led by the hand and just taken along on the ride, man.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff out there where you're going to go, why does this happen? And they're not going to explain it. And you're just
Yeah.
going to need to learn to live with it.
Yeah, there's that too. I mean, there's that one, but like I don't know. I just find that like with most like I can't remember what it was. I was watching some show with Olivia, and it was like some like secret spy kind of thing going on or whatever, like some kind of espionage thing. I was like, that dude did it. He planted the bomb, and now can we move on? And then she's like, no, I'm watching the show, and like it turned out that dude did it. Like from watching 5 minutes of it, I watched 5 minutes of the show I don't remember what the show was
Yeah,
called.
that's like The Village all over again.
Yep, that's
And it was
exactly
just
what I
like-
did with The Village.
This is it. And she's like, "Fuck, how did you do that? Fuck you. I was enjoying the show, and
We've
now
watched
I'm not
enough
enjoying the show anymore."
TV to just know now.
At least
Right.
you didn't know, though. My dad's favorite thing was, like, as kids, I remember it most specifically with The Sixth Sense. My dad had seen it. Me and my brother had not. And so we're sitting there and we're watching Sixth Sense at home for the first time. And my dad leans ahead. He goes, "You guys watching Sixth Sense?" And that was bullshit. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. And then just walks out of the room. And we're like, dude, we're like 20 minutes into this fucking movie. What the actual fuck?
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. See, when I know something like that, I just keep my mouth shut because I don't really want to
Yeah,
spoil
but his
it.
dad's a bit of a troll.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
that's-
He literally did the exact same thing later with Unbreakable. We're watching fucking
Oh.
Unbreakable. He leans in. He's like, "Oh, yeah, Samuel Jackson's the villain. It was dumb." And then he leaves. And we're like, can we decide if it's dumb? You fuck. He did it all the time, dude. All the time.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is the worst way to find out.
Dude. So that first when Star Wars first came out, the new one or whatever, like 7 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7. The day I was gonna go see it, someone had posted that Han Solo dies, and I was just like, I swear to God, if this is true, I'm gonna be so upset. And then it happened, and I was so upset that was taken away from me because somebody wanted to spoil something.
Yeah, I got pretty big on, like, doing media blackouts when those come out. And, like, my friends have fucking learned I will literally blackball you for those. Like, dead to me. Out of my life. Don't want to deal with you anymore. If you're
Oh no, I unfriended
you
that
know
person.
me. Yeah, if you know me, you know how big I am on these movies. So I like them more than you. You're expendable. Bye.
Yeah, I
I
usually
just couldn't believe it.
Just
It was like
ignore.
an hour. It was like an hour before I went to go see it too. I
That's
was so
such
upset.
bullshit.
I was so upset. I was like, why couldn't they wait like another fucking hour?
And see, I knew somebody was gonna die, not because of spoiler, because I'm like, that's how they're gonna get. It's a gimmick. It's a trope. They're gonna do it. I just didn't know who it was.
I mean, they clearly hinted at it. I knew it was gonna be Han
I
because
was hoping it
it's-
was Leia.
but it's fucking Harrison Ford's favorite Star Wars movie, and he's stated before time and time again
That he wanted.
that he
Han
didn't
to
want
die.
to do it anymore,
Yeah.
and he wanted his character to die, and now his favorite one. I'm not a dummy. I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together. I was just
Yeah.
waiting for that artistic reveal, and I didn't get it because I had confirmation because some asshole also put it there.
I still say 7's in my top 3 Star Wars movies. Sorry. I know a lot of people hate them, but I thought 7 was great. 8 and 9, but
I
7's
didn't
really
hate
good.
7.
I really
didn't hate 7.
8.
I love 7.
8
Really
is the
hate
worst
well,
one.
I don't know that I hate 8, but it's definitely towards the bottom. It's in it's
Oh.
close to 2 and 3.
So
I really don't know
actually,
which I like less.
I know I didn't put this on there for the generic because I just remembered I watched it. It was Knives Out, and the reason I'm bringing this up
Is
now,
it worth watching?
it was pretty fun.
I got a big spoiler on that one.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's made by the same director that made 8,
Yes.
and I watched it with Olivia, and Olivia said, "Wow, this movie is really good. Why didn't he do this for Star Wars?" And I was like, "Because he didn't follow the Star Wars formula."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, you're right." And I'm like, "Yeah, see, own movie, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Trying to take a formula of something else and make own movie, total shit."
Yeah. But it was subvertive.
So for anybody who doesn't want the spoiler and plans on seeing Knives Out, and I'm not actually going to spoil it, I'm going to tell you how it gets spoiled, which essentially spoils it. But if you want it to be a secret, pull your headphones off. So here's this really dumb Hollywood thing. There are apparently contracts out there that state you cannot give an iPhone to a villain.
What?
Apple refuses to let a villain be seen with an iPhone in any movie. If you're going to give it to a villain, you can't use an iPhone. They get all pissed about it. So if you go watch Knives Out, the only person who does not have an iPhone is the one who turns out to be the bad guy. So I haven't seen it. I don't know who it is, but there's no way I can watch that movie now and not look at their fucking phones.
Right, but I mean that ruins like every movie.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, it ruins every single movie with a mystery and cell phones going forward.
That is fucked up. I really want there to be directors that just do that. Just
That's
because,
what
fuck you.
I said. I was
I
like,
would-
I seriously want to direct
if-
a movie just so I can shit on that rule.
If I was a director, I would make sure that that one was not a preconceived notion at all.
Yeah.
Especially doing like a murder mystery.
And like, what a bullshit giveaway for every
Yeah.
mystery movie going forward.
I thought you were gonna say something like with the Thing, where like you could see the lights in their eyes, and that's
No,
how you tell that they're still human.
yeah, no, it's such a bullshit contractual thing. It ruins everything. You literally will never be able to watch a movie with cell phones again and not know.
That is fucked up.
Well,
Then there shouldn't be any of those in any movie. Then
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to really spell because
every phone should just have a banana sticker on the back so that it's
Yeah.
not an iPhone.
no, unfortunately, the headphones were loud. I heard everything.
But I mean, it's such a dumb giveaway, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
just because
that
he
is
had,
really
like, so
stupid.
if you can watch it and like maybe it's a good movie for listening to. Watch that movie while you play a video game, so you're not looking at their phones. You know what I mean? Like, bust out your Switch, and then you can still be surprised. But
I mean,
what
honestly,
a
I was doing
dumb,
other things while I was watching it.
contractual thing. You know?
Yeah, honestly, I would either break all that or I would just make sure that none of those iPhones are ever. I would take the money for the product placement and like have the iPhones off somewhere, like sitting somewhere, like
yeah.
not
never
even
put them in
not-
somebody's hand.
not even in a hand of anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that undermines the whole artistic process at that point.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
that's terrible.
Awful. And apparently
Terrible.
Ryan Johnson was really disappointed at too. Like when that contract negotiation came out, he was like, "Well, I guess my fucking hands are tied." But he seemed pretty not pleased with that decision,
Yeah.
which I don't blame him. It's such a gift. Like, oh, all the phones in this movie are branded by one company, except for that one.
Get him, boys.
Right? I guess. Oh shit, guys, am I the supervillain in this story? Oh no.
I have an iPhone.
I do not have an iPhone.
I do.
So yeah. You're
But
the
you know what?
villain, yeah.
No. I would say I'm still the villain because I don't technically own this. This is not mine.
Haha, it's
Ha-ha.
stolen. There, Klops, you just found your loophole. Any director, make sure that your villain steals an iPhone so we know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a true piece of shit he is.
There you go. That's
It's
better.
such an awful rule.
That is
Wait, can
terrible.
iPhones still be bombs? I would fucking put every iPhone as like the faceplate for
Oh
bombs.
yeah, that would be great.
Well, I guarantee you Samsung's
They're
not going to let you
not
do it
a
these days.
villain.
That's right.
They're not in the hands of the villain.
But
He's
the
getting
problem,
it from an Android.
well, the Android would be the bomb. Was the joke?
No. Like the faceplate of the bomb or whatever, where they have like the IED and it has the phone rig to it. Instead of
Mhm.
it being like the old Nokia kind of phones,
Yeah,
iPhones.
perfect. And then the only way to dismantle the bomb is to use an Android device.
No. He has to detonate it with the Android because villains can't have iPhones. So
Oh, that's right.
so he has to use the Android phone to
It's
blow
just
up
a
the.
pawn of the villain. All right.
Yeah.
And on that somber note of ruining fucking the film
Every movie
industry,
ever.
Check us out on Mondays and Tuesdays. On Mondays we are on.
I'm gonna turn this into a parlor trick, guys. Every time I watch a movie now, I'm be like, every
Every
fucking time. I'm never gonna tell how I know.
You're gonna be that guy.
Yeah, it'd be great.
You just became my dad, you piece of shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I'm gonna be watching the movie for the first time with somebody and being like, "That's the villain."
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
know.
Every time, and just never reveal that I know this trick.
That's funny. Well, now all the people listening to the podcast know.
That's
Yep.
okay. It's like
Y'all can
4
go
of them.
weird out your friends and piss them off.
All right, Bias Bros comes out every other Thursday. We are on iTunes. Also, check us out at twitch.tv/Metagame Network on Tuesdays, 7 to 9. We have our multiplayer night. And then we have Klops and Bonsai are playing a game on Wednesday. I don't know what game you guys are playing.
We're playing
Dying Light.
It was
Dying
a
Light
Twitch
right
blackout last week, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it's okay because now Bonsai got the game for cheaper.
Yeah, so we did the Twitch blackout, and I hadn't bought the game yet, and it was $30. And then the next day, the summer sale started, and it was $13. And I was like,
Score!
win.
All right, on that note, final words, Klops.
Should have got the deluxe edition for 17.
Bonsai.
That was me crying about it.
Oh, Muffin. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.